Welcome back to this video where we will be having an overview on React.js. So React.js, I wonder from where we will decrease the size of this. Mm, yeah, yeah, here it is. Okay, so React.js. So right now what I'm assuming is you are done with HTML, CSS and a bit of JavaScript. JavaScript enough to manipulate some HTML and CSS of the website with this DOM. Uh, DOM manipulation techniques like query selector, style list, and all such things. I am hoping you have done these things. So right now from here you have two paths to go. All right, you can become a Node.js developer, or you can start learning React.js. So what we'll be covering in this video is the fundamentals of React.js. We'll do this in some other video, not today. This is what we are going to do. All right. So stay tuned and watch the videos. So coming back to the topic, that is React.js. So the first question that you will hear is React.js is a JS library. It's a JavaScript library. This is a library because it is not rigid when it comes to framing your own application. So we will write here not rigid. Okay. And along with it, since it is not a rigid application, you get ton of options to move around for making your application. Say for routing you have to use a third party application. For state management you got some third party applications. Management, yeah, that's how we spell. I hope so. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so this is just a scratch of React.js. So what we'll be doing is go in depth of this React.js, but this is just a gist of it. Don't worry, I'll be teaching everything in a very kind of in depth. Okay, in fact, I'll teach you everything in depth. Mm, so from where will we start? There are two ways to start. One is to know the history of web development, and the other is to know the definition. So we'll start by referring it to its history. Okay. So don't worry, this is the definition. I'll be sharing it with you guys later on. Uh, so right now, let us just know the definition of not the definition, the history of React.js. Why we had an urge to move from basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to some other framework or libraries. So if you all are aware, you can know that in 1990s this was a time when you had HTML, CSS, and JS. Each one of them came to fix the previous tech stack technology. So HTML was basic page which was beautified by CSS, and this entire page was given a logical mind or logical capabilities to move around by this JavaScript. So until 1990s everything was perfect. Then came Node.js. This Node.js is basically an application, or we can say it is a machine, not a machine. It's not a machine. What we can say? Mm, Node.js is it is an environment from where you can run your JavaScript in your desktop or any other device. Okay. So previously, what used to happen is you had no feature to run JavaScript on any of the your machine. Okay. What you had to do is instead go to the browser, and these browsers had some nice engines to run your JS through which you could run your JS. So most of the time what you have seen is console logs and logs over here, and this is the main website. If you haven't seen it, don't worry, we will see it in later part. So right now, so let's revise what we have learned till now. So what we learned till now is we had some HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so we had no capability to run this JS independently. So just to run this JS, we had this Node.js environment to run the JS in our machines. Okay, so this way we had eliminated the requirement of browsers to run this JS, and hence Node.js provided us capabilities to run JS how independently, or you can say standalone JS. All right. So this is what we covered till now. Okay. So if you have developed few websites, what you have majorly noticed, like say you have a application of ordering application which has more than 10 pages, let's say 15 pages. So for this you have 15 HTML pages, 15 CSS pages, and 15 JS pages, each one of it for handling the functionality and the beautification of each HTML pages. And also what we have seen is for kind of moving along from one page to another, you have some A tags which end up refreshing your page. So modern web pages are not built using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript just to improve the user experience, and moreover, to kind of maintain a syntax along the code, uh, well structured syntax and a well how can we say that? I think no, this is not enough. What we can say is yeah, it does provide a good user interface, user experience, and along with it, what it does provide is some kind of framework on which you can build your application. Yeah, that's what we can say. So why did we just move from HTML, CSS, and JS to React and other such JavaScript frameworks? The answer to this question is SPAs, single page applications. Single page applications. Hmm? So, what are single page applications? So, you might have gone through many websites and you might have seen there are no reloads. You will be like, oh, Sanket, there is no reload in this page. How does it happen? So, you have seen this reload. Let me just take an example. Why it's not working? I wonder what's wrong. Come on. I wonder why it's not working. Yeah, anyways. So most of the pages what you have seen is for going from page 1 to page 2. What you have to do is reload, or the page automatically reloads itself to render the fresh views. Okay. So what the single page application does? It does not reload the page, but instead it renders a new fresh UI. Okay. It renders a fresh UI instead of kind of loading the entire page, and this is done by React and React.js and other such frameworks or libraries. Okay, so from where we can start React.js is, so this was the entire need of React.js. What was the need of React.js? The first thing is to improve the user experience. The second thing was to build a single page applications. The third one was to avoid the spaghetti code. So what I mean by the spaghetti code is the jumbling code of websites which you might have seen in .js files. So just for an example, you have a website of 70 pages with 70 JavaScript files, and you need to keep track of each and every variable, then update the variable in UI, keep the keep the data and UI in sync. So this is what you have to take care of. All right. So just in order to kind of eliminate all these things, there was a React JS library and other JS frameworks. UI framework to be specific to overcome mm, this redundant and tedious process. So what does React offer to us? React offers us a kind of standard to build our applications. The first one is standard to build our applications. The second one is the inbuilt algorithms to keep your data, my bad, to keep data and UI in sync. So the the main the main reason for switching to React.js is this one, second one, kind of this this one, inbuilt algorithms to keep your data and UI in sync. So you will be asking, how does this React thing keeps data and UI in sync to each other without touching the DOM? This is where the concept of DOM tree, virtual DOM, and React trees comes in. So this is on the later part. First, we need to uh, do some of the basic React things like React hooks. Don't worry, we will be covering covering the hooks from documentations, and if documentations are kind of weirdly structured, we'll go through some other pages, or I'll provide you with my notes, so you don't have to face any kind of mm, trouble like learning the concepts. All right. So where were we? Yeah. So data and UI is kept in sync, and this is why we kind of use these JS libraries and frameworks to build our modern day applications. And what more can I tell you about React JS? Yeah, along with the user experience, it is also observed that the this React JS is kind of not so expensive thing. Expensive in terms of kind of loading the web pages or kind of putting a load on server, nor on the PC. Why is this so? Why it why React does